Hey friends, just really quick, I want to just throw this out here. I am not a Marvel Rivals content creator. I play the game off camera. It's something kind of like a passive playtime, along with my Mogul as well as Hytale. I play those games kind of off screen. So whenever I say this, I'm saying this with kind of a pinch of salt. But one thing I've noticed with Marvel Rivals specifically is that, of course, triple support is kind of an issue right now. A lot of people have been saying, well, you need to nerf healers, or you need to buff anti-heal or whatever. Here's my take, okay? As someone who plays the game extremely passively, I've been playing this game as a tank main, okay? I tend to main Magneto, and as of lately, I've been kind of leaning into Storm a little bit, so a little bit more on the DPS end. When it comes to support, I tend to play anything from Mantis to Adam Warlock, which Adam Warlock buffs. Seriously happy that he finally got some sort of movement. But anyways, back to what I was gonna say. I had come up with an idea as far as like a response to triple support. Hear me out, okay? You gotta hear me out on this. Hear me out. My idea is not particularly anti-heal. Okay, it's not an anti-heal. Think of it as a reverse healing, which is just damage. I guess you could call it. But pretty much the way it would be introduced would be through two characters, okay, which I know that this is kind of the problematic side, because I know that Netease said that they're not going to be introducing copycats of characters, so no, like, you know, Red Hulk, Black Hulk, Gray Hulk, or anything like that. My idea is going to be introducing this concept, this mechanic, through either Gore the God Butcher is one of them, Anti-Venom is the other one, okay? Hear me out. You gotta hear me out, okay? It could be introduced through those two. Basically, they would be a response to triple support. Here's how. So the first couple of abilities that they'll get is, again, these are all subject to change, whatever. These are just numbers I'm just throwing out, obviously, to tweak in the future or whatever, if they decide to create a character like this, because this character is kind of crazy, okay? His main weapon of choice would be obviously his sword. He would be a melee attacker, but his sword, think of it kind of like blades, except it has an extended reach. So when he slashes, you have the base melee attack, but then there's the extension of it. So it's like kind of like a wave almost, okay? And with each strike, it will build up this meter, okay, which will top out, like, let's just say it tops out at like 50%, okay? His first tactical would be called like something like Shadow Consumption or something like that, which would be a dash strike ability, okay? It would consume all of the necrotic buildup that happened on that player and deals damage ignoring shields, and that's based off of whatever he builds up off of that necrotic decay. His passive, which I keep saying necrotic decay, it basically, the healing that they receive from their supports then gets transferred into damage, okay, which it's like a portion. It wouldn't be like full 100%, it'd probably be like 25%, I would say. His utility, which we would, again, name holders just here, Void of the Black Sun, okay? This is the name I came up with. Gore would create a zone of absolute shadow, and the allies inside of that little shadow are cleansed of debuffs, while enemies inside have their cooldowns frozen while they're in that area. Kind of a cool little, like, semi-anti-dive, I guess you could call it. And then, of course, his ultimate, which would be called Atrophy of the Gods. Again, name subject to change. Which is where Gore would plunge his sword into the ground, and for 6 seconds, 100% of the healing received by enemies within that radius is converted into damage. Or again, numbers just being thrown out there, just spitballing ideas there. I think it's a kind of a cool idea. Now, obviously, with that being said, with the numbers I've just thrown out, it's like, whoa, this character is way overtuned. Again, it's just an idea, something that I thought would be kind of a cool idea, especially in response to triple support. Hey, Netease, if you see this video and you want to check it out, I mean, I'm okay with this idea. And again, like I said, it could be applied to like Anti-Venom if they decide to add him into the game, highly doubtful. Or Gore the God Butcher, which is a great character to add in as well, because it's like, come on. Gore the God Butcher is kind of cool. Figure I'd just make this like a really short video, just a Marvel Rivals concept, you could say. I'm not a Marvel Rivals content creator. I just figured it'd be kind of cool to put it out there, see what people think. Either way, that is all for me for this video, at least. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hit that like button down below in case you want to see more content like this, which, I mean, this is the first video of this series, I guess you could call it, if I decide to make more concepts. Either way, keep an eye on that tree line. Watch out for that campfire. I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.
My name is Gore, son of a nameless father. That is how it feels to be mortal. Yes, come little kid to die. And here I thought you were smarter than Thor. Pity. I see why Odin cast you aside now. Disappointment. All gods must die.